Welcome back, everyone, to another baseball discussion. Today we're focusing on a story that has emerged from the SoftBank Hawks camp involving outfielder Ryosuke Otsu and a significant development in his career with the team. Otsu has been placed on contract hold, a move that marks him as the second Hawks player to encounter this status during the current offseason. This news comes alongside the announcement of a uniform number change for Otsu, and all of this is framed within what the team calls a yearly discussion. So let's unpack what this really means and why it matters for both the player and the franchise. First, understanding the term contract hold is essential in professional baseball. A contract hold is not a release or a trade, but rather a temporary pause in negotiations, where the team delays finalizing a contract, leaving the player in a state of uncertainty. For Ryosuke Otsu, this means his future with the SoftBank Hawks is suddenly up in the air. Despite being a part of the team for several seasons, Otsu has had a career with ups and downs, showing potential in the outfield and at the plate, but also battling consistency issues, which in a team as successful as the Hawks can become a focal point during off-season evaluations. Now, the context here is crucial. The team has indicated that this move is part of their yearly discussion, a routine meeting where the organization and the player review the past season and talk about the future, including contract terms and role expectations. But when a yearly discussion leads to a contract hold, it signals that these talks have likely hit a roadblock. Perhaps there are disagreements over salary based on performance, or maybe the team is considering a different role for Otsu that he or his representatives are not fully aligned with. This is where the business side of baseball really comes into play. Adding another layer to this situation is the announcement that Otsu will be changing his uniform number. While this might seem like a minor detail in baseball, a number change can often symbolize a fresh start or a shift in identity. Sometimes it's a psychological reset for a player after a tough season. Other times it reflects a change in position or role dictated by the team. For Otsu, this number change could be tied to the contract discussions. Perhaps the Hawks are proposing a new role for him, and the new number is part of that package. Or it could be a mutual attempt to turn the page and rebuild confidence. What makes this story even more interesting is that Otsu is the second Hawks player to be placed on contract hold this offseason. Although the first player hasn't been named in the reports, this pattern suggests that the SoftBank Hawks are taking a hard look at their roster and making tough decisions, possibly in response to a season where they fell short of their championship ambitions. The Hawks are a team with a rich winning culture, so any deviation from that standard prompts thorough internal reviews and sometimes difficult conversations with players. From a strategic perspective, contract holds give the team leverage in negotiations. By pausing talks, the team can pressure the player to accept terms more favorable to the club, or explore other options like trades or free agency signings without being locked into a current contract. For Otsu, this hold means he must wait and see how the discussions evolve, which can be a stressful experience for any athlete, especially when his livelihood and career trajectory are on the line. Looking at Otsu's recent performance, he has had moments where he contributed meaningfully to the Hawks, but overall his output may not have met the high expectations set by the organization. In the competitive landscape of the NPB, where every roster spot is valuable, teams like the Hawks cannot afford to carry underperforming players without trying to recalibrate their contracts. This is likely at the heart of the yearly discussion and the subsequent hold. For the SoftBank Hawks, this move is about managing resources and maintaining a championship-caliber roster. They have a history of smart front office decisions that balance talent development with financial prudence. So while placing Otsu on hold might seem abrupt, it is probably a calculated step in their broader offseason plan. They might be looking to free up salary space for other acquisitions or give younger players in their system more opportunities. As for Otsu's future, several outcomes are possible. The hold could be lifted after further negotiations, leading to a new contract under revised terms. Alternatively, it could lead to a trade, sending Otsu to another team where he might get a fresh start. Or in a worst-case scenario, it could result in his release, making him a free agent. The uniform number change might be a hint that the Hawks are leaning towards keeping him, but in a different capacity, perhaps with reduced playing time or a specialized role. In the grand scheme of things, this story highlights the often overlooked aspects of professional sports, where contracts and negotiations are as pivotal as performance on the field. Fans witness the games, but behind the scenes, decisions like these shape the team's composition and future success. For Ryosuke Otsu, this offseason is a critical juncture that will define his path forward. And for the SoftBank Hawks, it's another chapter in their relentless pursuit of excellence. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this situation develops and what it means for the Hawks' preparations for the upcoming season. Thank you for watching, and as always, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Otsu will remain with the Hawks, or is this the beginning of the end for his time with the team? Let us know your predictions and insights.